G'day, Paul.
The Enforcer.
How you going, dude?
How are you, mate?
Yeah, beautiful day at Norwell.
It's a ripper, isn't it?
Everyone that watches Enforcer and the Dude and is a motor racing enthusiast has heard about Norwell Motorplex.
Yes.
And I was just thinking the other day, you know what? We've never actually talked about it. So we've done all these episodes of the show, but we haven't talked about what Norwell Motorplex is about and what it does. Because there's a bit more than just the bar that we filmed the show from, isn't it?
No, it is a popular spot, but there's a rich history of motor racing here. It goes back 30 odd years, so good idea, Russ, as always. You're always full of good ideas, mate.
Ideas, man. Now tell me, when was it officially opened?
Back in 1990, Russ, so built by Tony Longhurst and Frank Gardner. And originally it was the Benson and Hedges BMW Performance Driving Centre.
So it's a 2.1 kilometre track.
Yeah, 2.2.
2.2, which can be sectioned up.
Yeah, it can run sectioned up, it can run anti-clockwise or clockwise. And the skid pan is probably the centrepiece of the thing. Everyone's seen on the show the skid pan. That's 30 years old now and still one of the best skid pans in the world. We actually had BMW come out here all the way from Germany to look at our skid pan and how it works and build a replica one back in Germany. That was only 2 years ago.
And it's got the same dam, same water supply as well.
Home water supply, we're self-sufficient.
All right, dude, so I'm a bench racer, punter, and may like motorsport or be a real petrol head.
Right,
and I've got that need to get out and a real adrenaline rush. I want to get out and drive something fast and experience what some of these professional drivers do. What can I do at Norwell Motorplex to come out to achieve that?
Oh mate, we've got you covered here. We've got our basic supercar experience right up to high level driver coaching, four-wheel drive. We've got you covered. And our instructors are that good. If you can drive, we'll let you off the chain.
Cool. All right, let's go do it.
All right.
This is the fleet of the Super School cars. Now, you've had these going for quite a few years.
This actually started back with Marcus Ambrose.
Oh, okay.
In 2004, we come up with the concept. So I was Holden supported and Marcus was Ford supported, so he owned all the Ford fleet.
All right,
and I owned the Holden fleet, so that's how it started.
Pretty cool. I mean, you couldn't pick them from the real deal, could you? I mean, when you look at it from here, they look like a V8 supercar.
Yeah, well, they've got the actual aero. So the aero, wheels, tyres, brakes and suspension, basically supercar. Obviously, we don't have the 600 horsepower engines, but we've got V8s.
Yep.
Plenty enough power to get yourself into trouble.
Now, H-pattern transmission, Paul, as well?
Some people always say, has the car got a sequential? Well, we don't, and we don't have a sequential for a very good reason, because most people just don't know how to use it. And if you've never used one before, it can be a complicated process, because if you push it or pull it the wrong way, you'll blow the whole engine up. Everyone knows how to use a H-pattern. We shorten the diff ratio up so you can skip through all the gears, and it's pretty simple. Like, you can get away with just doing 2 gear changes here if you want to. So quite often we'll have people come who can't even drive a manual, and this will be their first time experience, and we can get them going quite nicely.
Now, they run on a Dunlop slick tyre.
Yeah.
So same tyre basically is what the supercars have been running on?
They're the tyres. So what we do after the teams have used their tyres, we'll get the good ones that have been raced on. They'll come down here, and if they're good enough to go on the cars, they're on the cars. So you can be driving on Jamie Whincup's tyres.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Now, to make it clear, so anyone can come out here. They can have no race experience or some race experience or plenty of race experience. I mean, they can come out here and drive one of these cars with an instructor, which, teach them the basics as well as keeping things under control.
It's an experience, Russ. If you're the full-on racer and you're looking to come here and flog around and lay a big lap time down, go and do the driver coaching.
Right.
But this is an experience. Most of the people that come here, they've got it as a gift certificate, they bought it for their birthday or a special occasion, and the whole family will come down and watch their grandfather or their auntie or their uncle or whoever that special person is and go for a drive. And we take the time to do it. So we give you a proper observation lap in a road car with an instructor, teach you how to do it, get you comfortable in the car. We're not time certain, we're not about getting you in and out the door. We want you to have a good time. So that's what it's about.
And it's under safety conditions as well. Now, these cars have a little button you can pop cylinders out as well as a brake too.
Yeah, so the instructor does have a brake up there, so if something does go wrong or you need a little bit of help, he can get on the brake pedal, or he or she can get on the brake pedal with you. And they also have a button in there that'll cut either 8 or 4 cylinders, so if you're getting a little bit of trouble and you don't get off the gas pedal, you can just help them out.
So absolutely safe for the inexperienced. Don't panic, a lot of safety measures have been put in place.
But the guys will let you go. Like, if you come through here and you're showing that you're competent and you got some skills, they will keep coaching you and push you along to a pretty high level.
I've always wondered, how fast are these compared to the real deal? Because I know you've had, Red Bull, for instance, 888 team, they have corporate days here, which they use the super school cars, but they also use their own ride cars, their supercar ride cars.
Yeah.
How close is this in times compared to a proper full-on supercar around Norwell?
On this circuit here, it's about 2 seconds. Shane Van Gisbergen's done a low 58 in one of these cars, and a supercar will do a 56 around here. So
that's pretty quick. I mean, that's not far behind a proper supercar.
Well, you're braking the same, you're cornering the same. The thing that you don't have is the 600 horsepower, but you've got 400 there to use, and the instructor will let you use it if you've got your brain plugged in. It's pretty good fun.
So you get corporates coming out here, they can have a day with all these cars.
They can do it
on the skid pan.
Yeah, sometimes we'll even change all the livery for some corporate groups. They'll come in and we'll do a conference of people who are having a conference on the Gold Coast, and we'll plan a day for them. All the cars have the in-car video and data system as well.
It looks like there's a 4-wheel drive track going around here as well.
Yeah, we've got a pretty comprehensive 4-wheel drive circuit here, and a lot of the work we do with that is with vehicle launches and target stuff specifically to vehicle manufacturers. The biggest thing with the 4-wheel drive market these days is all the electronics. That can it drive on rocks, can it go through sand? You've got all these different modes, so we can construct all that here, which we do. So we can have a fairly extreme track, and within half a day we can turn that into something you could drive an X5 BMW around and not scratch it.
Man, if you came here and you did, the 86s, the super school cars, skid pan.
Well, we've got the fleet of Jeep Wranglers as well.
Yeah,
which we don't mind if you buff them up a tree or run into something. We'll let you go pretty loose in those things.
Well, it's a good day.
It is a good day.
For a corporate experience, you couldn't get anything better.
Well, everyone drives out the drive with a smile on their face, and hopefully they drive safe on the road and have their good times here, Russ.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did a bit of research and found out that this place existed. So popped down, spoke to Robbo a few times and about what I was looking for, and then just kicked off from there. Started some sessions, and as a club racer, kind of rated myself. And then when you come and do a few sessions with Robbo, you find out how bad you really are. Lots of things to work on just in that first session. You've got to understand what's under you, and when you go out in clubland, you just go and whiz the thing around and race your mates and have some fun, which is what it's about. But if you want to go faster, what have I got underneath me? What am I doing to the tyre, and how do I get the max performance out of that? And that's the basics that they kind of peel it back to here, is the building blocks of how to treat the tyre and how to get pace and build pace over time. So for me, it's I've been driving cars for 30 plus years, and you kind of think you're a half a star, and when you peel it back to the basics, you can. There's lots to be done, that's for sure.
So I've come out to Norwell Motorplex to tune up my skills, do a little bit of driver training with Paul Morris and the guys here. Hopefully get those little skills that will help my driving improve. So it's not all about the car, it's about me as well. It's good to see which skills I can improve on, which skills I already have, and which skills just need that little bit of a touch. They took me to the skid pan. I learned how to drift, but that's definitely helped my car control. So the facilities here are great because they definitely teach you everything. Knowing the mechanics of a car is important, because then if you're driving it, it's understeering a bit there, I know what can help with that. Things like if the oil light comes on, you know exactly what it is. Yeah, ultimate goal is to be a professional race car driver, in TCR hopefully, because I think that's the next step up.
Such a great experience down here. I've only been doing a year of karts, so I'm really looking forward to stepping up and making my journey down here at Norwell into cars and onto circuit racing, which is really exciting for me. I'm very fortunate and very lucky to have this opportunity at only 14 years old, such a young age, but I just can't thank Norwell enough for the opportunity and the cars that they provide down here. Started in karts around a year ago, and now I'm working my way through cars, and currently right now I have an XL, and we're probably going to race that at the Queensland track attack rounds and get myself used to race situations, and then hopefully we can step up to something like a Toyota 86 and then move forward through the ranks if possible, which would be really cool. From a kart to a kart, the braking is the most obvious difference there. It's definitely a lot to get used to compared to a kart. We've got a lot more brake feel and the handling model's a lot different in my opinion. Every time you come out to Norwell, no matter where you are, you're always going to learn something, you know. Just like by being in the car with Brock for a hot lap, I could just see the way he was trail braking really well, and you're always going to learn something through the telemetry as well. You can see where you're losing time on a really fast guy like Brody or Brock, and you can take that data directly and use it to improve your times.
Okay guys, so looking at the data from the laps we've just completed then, Holly, we got your lap on. You can see that the time just slowly creeps up. You can see the coming across the cursor here and ends up the distance off Bush, off Brody. When you look at the data here, down here we've got brake pressure and then we've got the throttle trace, so the throttle ramp. Straight away, like, you will be able to clean your lap time up just by looking at the difference in brake pressure from what Bush has compared to what you have. So you can see, you know, that's a maximum of 61, but your maximum's about half of that, about 35, 40. Jeff, you can see your brake pressure's pretty good. When you look at your black and Bush's red, your brake pressure's sort of matching Bush's. He went a little bit harder on the brakes down here, but once again, you can see your trail braking here is pretty good. Benny, so there's your brake pressure, I'm circling it, and here's where you get on the throttle. So, what do you see? What do you think you were looking at? What can we work out from that?
So I think there, I don't think I've got enough brake pressure coming into the corner as Bush, which then means I'm losing time on the exit as I can't get to full throttle as quickly as Bush.
It was only 2.5 years ago I rang up Paul and said, I don't know how to drive a manual, but I want to go racing cars, so what do we do? And he said, yep, come on out, and he taught me how to drive, and you know, him and Robbo's basically built me up to sort of, I'm ready to go race Bathurst. So the big thing that I've found out, you know, I want to give those kids sort of the same opportunity that I've had to come out to Norwell, drive a race car and, you know, get that right technique that if you nail it, you can go right through to supercar. So it's awesome to see, and you know, me and Brody come out here and, you know, we battle each other out on the real track and at Norwell as well. So yeah, it's awesome.
The biggest thing that I've learned coming to Norwell is that you're always learning. So being involved with Norwell for 1.5 years now, I've driven with so many different race car drivers, and I've been able to harness that into, you know, multiple different packages for multiple scenarios out, you know, during my race weekend. So that's been a big gain for myself, and it's really good that I can, you know, pass that on, and you know, like Brock said, you know, we can really push each other, and we're always learning here, and our curriculum is always ever evolving.
You learn plenty, you have a lot of fun, and you go away with a better driver. You know, if you want to be a better golfer or better at playing tennis, you get someone to teach you who's a professional and, you know, who's got more skills than you. What you learned 30 years ago when you were first getting your Ps, and what the rules are now and stuff like that, and how cars react to stuff. So the tyres, the brakes, the suspension. So we still get, so the more mature people will pump the brakes into the corners and stuff like that, and that's what you had to do in your old HR Holden. All that stuff's changed. You know, we have a technique, ease, squeeze, and we have all different scenarios of how we show them how it works. You know, the understeer and the oversteer, what we did for the race school, we do that the same in the driver defensive courses. So if you can understand what's happening to the car, you can do something about it. If you do nothing, it goes pear-shaped pretty quick.
Hey, thanks dude. I'm sure it's shown everyone what Norwell Motorplex is about. There's so much to do here, and if this isn't one of the best experiences that you'd ever get in Australia, and possibly the world, I'd be very surprised.
I think it is good, Russ, because it's designed by people who drive and love to drive, you know. That's what we're all about, and I'm happy coming to work each day when I see happy people coming through the gate and happy people leaving the gate, sharing the love of driving.
I'm sure there's plenty of them, mate.
There is.
So if anyone interested in coming down to Norwell Motorplex, make sure you get online, norwellmotorplex.com.au. Go to their Facebook page if you want to check it out and other people's experience as well, or just get on the blower and ring the phone. They actually do answer their phones here. So norwellmotorplex.com.au, highly recommended. Tell them the Enforcer sent you.